By optimizing ventilation rates, the Aircuity platform delivers measurably better indoor environments and also significant energy savings. But the Aircuity system is going to take it one step further. We're going to show you exactly what you're saving with the system, and if you're not saving what you expected, we're going to show you exactly what to fix to get the savings. It's very simple. Log into myaircuity.com, type in your username and password, you'll come to this screen. Immediately you will see what your annual savings are directly from the Aircuity system. This is done by establishing a base airflow when the system is installed, where the airflow was before the Aircuity system was enacted. We'll model and design what we call the target, the design minimum that we're trying to achieve. And then the Aircuity system takes flow feedback from the lab control system or the building automation system, receives actual flow into every single room that the Aircuity system is operating in, and trends that along to show that and dollarizes that to come up with a dollar savings. So it actually becomes a sub-meter for each and every room that the Aircuity system is running to show what the actual savings are. When I look at the total savings, if they are not what I expected them to be, if I'm not as close to that target as I had initially modeled and hoped to be, or if they go away over time, the savings get worse, I simply scroll to the bottom of the screen here. I'll see these categories on the left. I'll click on my flow reductions. The system looks and analyzes the entire building and says, I'll show you the rooms that have your best savings or your moderate savings, but what I'm interested in is the ones that have the least savings. So this 8.7% of my rooms immediately ranked in priority of worst to best. These 5 rooms are my least savings potential. These are the ones where I can fix a condition and get my savings back up to the level that I expect them to be. Shown here, the room name, the base airflow, the actual airflow, and then we put it into ACH to make it a little easier to interpret. I'm at 16. When I started, I'm at 16. I'm slightly higher now. I'm at 10. I'm at 11. Things are getting worse. I'm getting no savings out of these rooms, or I'm getting a much smaller amount of savings than I had expected. Okay, so now I know where the problems are. What are the problems? Simply come over here to flow drivers. The flow drivers is going to similarly do a rank and prioritization of all the problems. It's going to show me out of demand control ventilation, out of fume hoods, or out of thermal, which of these 3 is driving that minimum ventilation up from what we designed. So 49% of the rooms here are at their design minimum. They are where we expected them to be. These rooms right here are being driven high or losing savings because they're constantly being put into thermal demand. And my worst offender is 561. And out of this time period, I have it set for a week, and I can change that and make it a different time period if I want. But out of that time period, essentially all 169 hours of that week, room 561 has been driven high by thermal. I need to go to room 561 and figure out why that is. Is it loaded with equipment? Is there something put in front of a thermostat? Is there short circuiting? There's a fix there to get the thermal down, and I would focus on these 4 rooms at the top. With regards to fume hoods, I'm going to click on this. This is immediately going to tell me the performance of the fume hoods in these rooms over that time period. So I can see that out of these 10, out of my worst offenders, probably the top 9 or so have fume hood sashes that remain continually open. And then demand control ventilation, just a few and not a very long time period, nothing to fix there. Allows me to go back and make the fixes so that I can get back to the savings levels that I expected. And as you can see, it's all done in a very, very simple and powerful fashion.